that won't be too frustrating. And I can't make any spelling mistakes now. I don't know. We'll have to find out. My name's Rihanna, and I'm here with Harry and Rena. We're from Friends of Bathurst Nature, which is a volunteer community-based organization. We're based in Bathurst. Surprise. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about the work we've been doing. So Harry and Rena are going to stick their hands up or stand up or something if I forget anything. We started in 2017 and we were called Friends of Waters Meeting. Our intention at that time was to support Waters Meeting Nature Reserve with alien clearing or path building or whatever they needed. But we struggled at the time to get a memorandum of understanding signed. And so we kind of segued into doing other community-related, conservation-related, awareness-raising stuff. Which, because we're a volunteer organization and because one of our enabling constraints are the people that are involved, it's an elective thing. We don't pay anyone to work for us. We tried a few different ways of staying alive, and the most sustainable thing we did was to run a monthly talk about thicket or nature-related activities that was free. So the first Saturday of every month we had a talk, and it was always in Bathurst, and it attracted quite a lot of attention, and people were interested. We had a graphic designer who gave us free design time, which was amazing, so we made beautiful posters. And people came and they listened, but we didn't really grow. We kind of had the same audience all the time. So with time, we explored ways to grow the organization, and one of the ways we decided to do that was to evolve what we were called. So now we've evolved from Friends of Waters Meeting to Friends of Bathurst Nature. And so we've kind of, our existence has gotten a bit bigger. So we've also found that if we move our talks around and we go to other towns, if we move our talks around and we go to other towns, more people find us, more people come. One of the things that we did that was a roaring success was we started hosting talks at the University of the Third Age. So for those of you who don't know, it's a retirement club for people who are interested in finding out about new subjects. And they meet in Port Alfred, and we have had some record attendance at our talks, like hundreds of people. So that's been a way that we grew. But we've also held what we call the Thicket Festival, which is an annual event which is organized to raise awareness, but also to generate a bit of interest in thickets so that people stop just seeing bush. One of the challenges that we found, we work mostly in Zambe municipality. One of the challenges that we found is that people move there from other places, from other biomes, from Cape Town, from Joburg. They don't recognize what they're looking at. They just see this mesec thicket. It looks like a big gemors, and they just cut it down. And on a large scale and a small scale in their back gardens. And so we're looking at ways to change what people see when they look at thicket. And the Thicket Festival started with that in mind. And it's been surprisingly successful. The next one is on the 10th of October, and you're all very welcome to come. It's in Kleinamond. And this year, we're going to be doing a spring tide, what will be spring low tide. We'll be doing a Rocky Shores walk. So we'll be exploring the interface between the surf and the thicket, and we'll be doing some walks in the dune thicket there. So if you're interested in that intertidal Rocky Shores kind of zone, then it would be lovely to see you there. But we've also found that in Kleinamond, there's another community-based organization called Seafield Secrets. And they have been doing educational work of the sort of same kind that we're doing for years on intertidal zones, rocky shores, oceans. So we've started to work together with them. And we've learned a lot about how to reach out to people, how to connect with children. Harry and Rena, is there anything you want to add so far? Okay, cool. Yes. So the Thicket Festival was one of the things that we have been doing for years. Sorry, just keep waving at me, Alistair. The Thicket Festival is one of the things we've been doing for several years. But this year, I think partly because last year I told the sad story of our relationship with ECPTA, we made contact with the reserve manager at Thomas Baines Nature Reserve, and he encouraged us to run an event in the reserve. They've got a beautiful environmental education center. It's been recently refurbished, and they said, come and do an event here. So we did. We ran a Nature Corridors and Connections Day, and we had some really great speakers. Thank you, Yapi. And we got an amazing audience. And it was a really interesting audience. It was farmers, it was local residents, it was conservationists. We even had people there from sandparks. We were very excited. But the most important for us, what we felt was the most important breakthrough, was for the first time we could engage children. And that's been an area that we really wanted to get involved with, working with, connecting with schools and connecting with youth clubs and enviro clubs, and we just couldn't break through that barrier. But through working with the Kariga Foundation, who have an environmental club, and through our connection with ECPTA, who have got some connections to some environmental clubs at schools, we managed to integrate a weekend where the Friday was activities for children, and we had some entomologists from Rhodes University, and I think the bug people, the biocontrol folks came out. Yeah, CBC, thank you. And we had this amazing weekend where on the Friday there were children, and they did all these nature activities and they stayed the night. And on the Saturday there was this influx of people doing bird walks at 5 o'clock in the morning, never again, doing Thicket walks. It was wonderful. And so the problem from our point of view was that everybody wanted us to do it again. And as a small volunteer organization, we felt a little intimidated about how on earth are we going to keep doing this at this level every year going forward. So if anybody wants to get involved in helping us out with that, you're very, very welcome. But we're hoping to run another similar day next March, probably also at Thomas Baines. So that was a great success for us. We were very excited about it. And we started to reflect on what has brought us to this point. Because we started out, we had lots of frustrations. We grew a little bit, but not really enough. And we've come to the conclusion that it's because we've just kept on doing what we're doing. We are members of the community. We didn't go anywhere because we have to work within our enabling constraints. We can give of our free time, so we give as much time as we have. We work with the people who want to participate, and quite a lot of those people are retired. And I think that's a big resource for us, is that we've got retired folks who have an independent income and an interest, and they want to contribute to their community, and they're interested in nature, and it's been a real plus for us. So I want to say, don't forget about retired people if you want engagement in your activities, because there's loads of wisdom and knowledge and energy and an independent income, which is really handy. But we've also, there's something I've forgotten. Thank you. The other thing that we found is growing is an interest in hiking. There's a massive commonage around Bathurst, and we are on the Commonage Management Committee, which I think is quite a unique structure. It's a civic structure. The municipality's on it. We're on it. The Residents Association, the Cattle Owners Association, the horse riding people, we all sit together fairly regularly and discuss management of that commonage area. And Harry's the person to talk to if you want to know more about that. And from there, we've kind of evolved into developing some hiking trails in the commonage, which is another resource that's really nice for children. So it's growing. Our penetration into wild or wildish areas around Bathurst is growing. But the collaborations with Kariga and ECPTA and Seafield Secrets has also grown our footprint from just the town, basically, to the municipality, and that's very exciting. So we're quite pleased with that, and we are noticing that our efforts are having an impact. So we've got some little booklets we've written, and other people have written and contributed to, including Mike, thank you, a whole collection of little booklets that introduce people to Thicket. And some of them are about medicinal plants, and some of them are about orchids, and some of them are about birds, and some of them are about trees, and some of them are about, we're busy writing a gardening one at the moment, how to garden with Thicket. But the idea is to catch people's interest. You know, if you're interested in birds, but you can also be persuaded to be interested in Thicket. We're working like that. So we're trying to find avenues that people already have an interest in something, and then we're moving towards Thicket and going, hey, look, it's so beautiful, it's so amazing. So one of the ways that we are experimenting with doing that is there's an artist who lives and works in Bathurst. Her name is Tori Stowe, and she designed a bespoke T-shirt for us darlings, which you can buy if you want to. They're 150 Rand. But what we found is that all these funny little activities that we're doing are increasing their penetration. People are starting to know what Thicket is. And what is very exciting for us is like local estate agents are starting to put pristine Albany Thicket into their marketing for properties in places like Kenton-on-Sea. Pam Golding is like, pristine Albany Thicket. And the implication is that if you want to live there, you should be conserving it. Not like, hey, you can bulldoze this and plant a lawn. It's like, this is a special thing that you can have, and it makes your property more desirable. So we're quite excited about that. We're claiming the credit. But also, spontaneously, other people are doing things that are nature-related, that are Thicket-focused, that have got nothing to do with us. And so we feel that that's also maybe part of what we've contributed, is to get people excited enough to organize their own activities focusing on Thicket, and for that, that's very exciting. So yeah, that's my story. Have I forgotten anything, folks? Yeah? Cool. That's my story. Done.